Every love story has a beginning. Some start with a glance, some with a wink, others with a twist of fate. A few begins in ways you could never imagine. Welcome to How I Met Mine, the new podcast where real people share real stories that could be straight out of a fairy tale. The love, the laughter, the joy, and everything in between. Because, let's be honest, queer love stories don't always get the spotlight they deserve. We've had to find connections in unexpected places and situations. I am your host, Bisi Alimi, and I'm going to guide you through the soundtracks of love and connection. Hello, my name is Bisi Alimi, and I'm back for another episode of How I Met Mine, that podcast series where we ask queer people in love how they met their partner. And if you have been enjoying How I Met Mine, I hope that you've subscribed to our channel, and I hope that you're following us on all our social media platforms. And you know that this podcast is always very interesting because you never know what you're going to get from it. And talking about not knowing what you're going to get from it, today I've got such a very, very interesting guest. Now, I want you to imagine this. In a world that we live now, with the confusion, with the chaos, and with hate that we're made to believe is the norm, how do you find love in the middle of it? My guest today have something that defiles everything that will give love the opportunity to exist. One, a Jew, the other a Palestinian, Arab. Both gay, both in love. So please, put your hands together and meet my guest.
Hi, Bisi.
Hey.
Ali and Adam, how are you both?
We are good. We are good.
Oh gosh, thank you so much for joining me on this podcast, for accepting my invitation and for turning up. I remember the very first time we met, it was at Attitude Awards, and we were both winning awards.
We was.
We should have come with the
you
awards and
awards.
put it on the table.
Damn it.
Oh, so a big shout out to
Opportunity.
Attitude for bringing us together.
Yeah.
But my first question always to my guest is, let's demystify the first time. Where was it and how was it?
I was in my bedroom. Alone.
Okay.
On my phone.
Mm-hmm.
Having a little scroll, as you do.
Mm-hmm.
And came across this profile and decided to drop him a message and be like, hey, how you doing? I'm Ali, half Turkish, half Arab. I'm 13.
Did you say that? Did you say all of that? Did you like your
that
statistics
was like my
from?
intro. Yeah, I think I did do that online because people often get confused when you message them. People, well, you know, when you're like on dating apps, you know, a lot of people don't want to meet people of colour. So I felt that I had to kind of put it out there and justify my race of who I was, if that makes sense. So that would be my open. Hi, I'm Ali, I'm half Turkish, half Arab, or yeah. And I'm 35, and yeah, how you doing? What are you up to?
Were you expecting a reply immediately?
I got a reply immediately.
Oh,
My memory's so open. Immediately.
I got a reply.
so how was it?
Yeah, I remember just being like, I think it was just a really friendly message, and it wasn't like some of the usual. It was just more, you just, even from a message he came across just friendly, and yeah, so I replied. I don't know if it was immediately, but I did reply.
The conversation was that night. So
Yeah.
we spoke that night, exchanges of messages. Yeah, I did put it out there. I was like, do you fancy meeting up? It was like, no.
No
It's
way.
midnight. I'm going to bed. I was like, in bed with Madonna.
But I mean, how was it for you when you first got the message with all the details? Like,
Yeah, like I said, it just came across really friendly and like just like sweet. I don't know, just different to other people who just send like one word, like hi, and that's it. And it's just like the conversation dies out. I think it was just, we had like banter, and I think it just flowed quite easy. It felt like quite natural. I think the conversation, yeah.
And before between the first message and the first meet, how long was it? How?
So it was a week. So that night, I was coming off the app that night because I just had enough because, you know, it gets tiring, doesn't it? When you're dating apps and you're having the same conversations with people and the next thing it just ends up being nothing. I just thought, I'm done with it. So I actually sent him my number and said, I'm deleting the app tonight. So if you want to like see me or message me, and here's my number. And then I deleted the app. And then maybe an hour later, I got a message saying, hi, it's Adam on WhatsApp. It's Sally. And I said, yeah, it's Sally. How you doing? He's like, oh, you did delete the app? I said, yeah, I did delete it. Yeah, then we spoke for about a week. He wanted to not talk to me on the phone. And I thought, I'm not meeting you until I speak to you on the phone. I mean, I don't know who you are. Like, you could be some like catfish serial killer. Like, no, we need to speak on the phone. He found that weird. But we did have a conversation midweek, wasn't it?
Yeah. I think a few times actually that week. We spoke on the
Actually,
phone.
no.
Yeah.
He called me the very next day at 3 a.m, really drunk. I was in bed sleeping, and he called me like 3, 4 a.m. in a taxi. He lost his friend at a club, and I was like, "What is going on?" The first time I spoke
You didn't
to
find that scary?
I don't know what was going on. I was just like, okay, like get home safe. I'm in bed. Good night. Like, and then I mean, we spoke the next day.
Was the number already on speed dial?
Yeah, it shows how comfortable I was so quickly that just the first person I called at 3 a.m.
Like the next day.
Yeah, literally next day.
The next day. Like we spoke the next day. I messaged, and it was a Eurovision. The next day, he went to Eurovision.
And you people are a big fan of Eurovision.
Oh, yeah, the gays are the first ones. If it wasn't for the gays, there would be no Eurovision.
No, there would be no Eurovision, believe me. No.
Exactly.
But you talk about feeling comfortable. How did you know that you could be comfortable to pick up your phone at 3 a.m. the next day drunk, and the first person you want to call was the guy that sent you a message on Grindr?
I think just because like we just felt like we connected like really quickly. It just felt really comfortable and really natural. So I felt like also if he didn't like me doing that, then that's just who I am. You're not gonna like me. So I think I'm very like all or nothing. yeah. So I don't know. It felt like it just felt comfortable very quickly. Like
Because for some other people that would be so scary. Like, wait a minute, I don't even know you yet. We've not really, and you're calling me at 3 a.m. or this is a red flag. Right. And it also shows how some things some people think is a red flag can actually be a green flag for someone else.
Yeah.
And this whole relationship advice that we see online, they're not telling us it's relative, because something that would scare someone else would be something that would be pure adventure for someone else.
Yeah, it was just like, it wasn't like a crazy drunk message or call. It was quite funny. Like, you know, he had lost his friend in a club. He was in a cab and he was telling me this whole story about losing his friend. I was like, it was quite amusing. You know, I just was like, okay, that's nice. Like, thanks for calling and telling me, sharing that at 3 a.m, you know. And so I was asking about how was Eurovision. I was like, yeah, like we didn't win. Like we never win. But yeah,
we never win.
Yeah, we never win.
I think we're used to that now. We never win. It's like a football.
Exactly.
We never win.
So it was a week later we met. It was the following Friday. Yeah, a week. And again, he was going to cancel. He didn't tell me that. He tells you this now.
I was very tired. It's Friday, been working all week. I was tired. I was like, should I cancel? Should I not? And my friend at work was like, if you cancel, he won't see you again. So just go. I was like, okay.
And then you went. And
I'm glad I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how many years now have you guys been together? How many years ago was it?
8.5.
Wow.
8.5. Yeah. So it'll be 9 in May next year. Yeah. 9 years.
And you've been married
2 and a bit years.
Yeah, 2 and a bit years.
August 2023.
So what was the journey like to being sure, right? Because I think that's the most important part of every relationship. Like being sure that, you know, I'm very sure in my core, I want to spend the rest of my life with this person.
Yeah, I think it comes from feeling so. I just was myself from day one, like calling the next day at 2 a.m, and it wasn't playing games. It was just wasn't doing this because you should do this or you shouldn't do that. I just was myself, and it flowed and it worked.
We just steamed ahead. It just came natural. We moved in together 10 months later. So
is this a queer thing that people just fall in love and move in together? Like we're moving together 3 weeks after we met. And
3 weeks? I've got milk longer in my fridge.
Don't make it sound bad. But almost all the relations, all the people that I've spoken with, they fall within that less than a year.
Really?
Quite people just move in and
because I find people it's one of those, it's too soon. People like act to be like, oh, is it not too soon? And almost sometimes the opposite. I find like there's, like you said, with relationships online, the blogs, it's like you shouldn't do this till 2 years.
Yeah, exactly.
10 months is always like that's really soon, but it felt really right. I think we've been ready after 2 months to move in together. Like it was just.
But we
want to
set
see
days.
each other.
It was really cool. So I know when people first meet, they want to spend every minute, every day together, every night, every weekend. And I think what people seem to lose in that moment and forget is that they actually had a life before.
Yes.
And they've got friends and family and had their routine. So don't cut those people out of your life. Still make time for them. And we set our times. It was really lovely. On Monday, I can tell you right now, because it's still in my brain, Mondays, we didn't see each other. That was our day. Tuesdays, we would be at my house. Wednesdays, we'd be at Adam's house. Thursday, we wouldn't see each other. And that would be to do things with our friends, do whatever we wanted. And then Fridays would be, if we've got plans, then we're not going to see each other. If we don't have plans, then we will do something together.
You were that methodical.
I think
clinical.
It just happened. Yeah, I had it on my calendar. It was embedded, and it was done. It was signed, sealed, and delivered, and we weren't breaking it. And then again, weekends. Again, we would just, if we saw each other, we did. And Sunday nights, so we would spend Sunday nights together, because Sunday nights are always quite crap, aren't they?
Yeah, because you have the burden of starting work the next day. And you've wasted all through the weekend. Now you're like going into your little rehab and trying to like.
So it just like I said, it felt comfortable at that point where when Adam proposed, I think I would have wanted to get married.
Wait, you can't just say it like
a lot of years.
I want to know how we get there.
No, we're going to get there. What I was like, so when we got to that point, because you asked how we knew, if we knew to get married. So coming from like a Muslim background and all the challenges that I had and the coming out, and, I didn't introduce any of my exes to my family. I wasn't really properly out, although my mum knew I was gay at that point. I just kept it on the down low. But when I met Adam, and I just knew that he was the one, and we did all these things up to that build up where, we met. Yes, we fell in love. We moved in together. We then bought a house together. We started doing all these wonderful things on holidays and Christmases and birthdays, and our friends diluted, would go out with each other's friends. So I knew at that point that, yes. And, I've been through all of these challenges with my mum now as well. That yes, I'm ready to marry him.
Before we come to the engagement, because I love engagement story, I really do love them. I want to know how you go through those challenges that you mentioned, especially with families, right? So you were born in what part of the UK?
Yeah, London.
You're born in London.
North London, yeah.
North London.
North London.
And what was it like for you growing up in a Muslim home in the UK? I don't want to touch on the external.
No.
Now, let's talk about the internal now. Mm-hmm. So what was it like for you internal, like discovering your sexuality, then there is your religion, and then there is your family and all of that?
So my family were very liberal growing up. So we weren't a strict Muslim household as such. We were very liberal. Growing up in the 80s and the 90s, it was very different back then. People didn't accept homosexuality, queerness. There was, lots of comments that were made. People would think that you were mentally ill if you were gay or queer. You had HIV and AIDS, which was, you know, born around the 80s, the height of it in the 90s. So, you know, it was never a conversation that was welcomed in my household or in my family. You know, it just wasn't accepted. They didn't hate queer people, but I was always brought up knowing that it was wrong. There was never any representation on telly either around queer people being, you know, representing like the queer community. So growing up, knowing that I was always different, and, you know, I always wanted to play like my female cousins rather than my male cousins. I always wanted to dress up, wear high heels, do all of the, you know, always, you know, my mum was very glamorous, you know, growing up, you know, she was very glamorous, my mum, the big hair, the makeup, the red lipstick, the high heels, the big fabulous belts. And, you know, she would always wear like Chanel No. 5 perfume, smelled great. And I used to be like, wow, you're so pretty, mum, you're so beautiful, you know, and, but then as I got to the point where I was different, I was being bullied at school for being different. I know people would make comments about me or secretly talk in the family about me being different, and I would hear snippets of conversations. I would see the embarrassment like on my parents' face, and it was difficult. And then when I got to the stage in my life where I knew that I was gay, I thought, well, I can't, what do I do with this now? Like, I'm so confused because I know I'm different. I know I like men, and it was a very young age. I mean, I knew from a very, very young age that I liked boys, maybe 5. You know, it was, you know, but I didn't know the word gay at that point, obviously, until I got older. So, you know, I had to live 2 separate lives for a number of years. You know, I had to be Ali, the camp straight guy in the family. People knew that I was gay. I never brought a girlfriend home, but I had to just erase that out of my mind, if that makes sense. And then on the second hand, when eventually I did come out to my friends, I would have my, you know, a separate life, and I'd go out and be the authentic Ali that I am.
And Adam, what was it like for you growing up and navigating, you know, your Jewish identity, your Jewish culture, your Jewish religion with your sexuality?
Yeah, it was definitely, it was hard in different ways, I think, because like we weren't religious, my family, but we were a big part of community. Like I grew up in a really close-knit community in Ilford. Everyone knew everyone. I went to Jewish schools. My family were all part of like the community. So even though we weren't religious, we were well known. And if someone knew, any news kind of spread very quickly. So people like wouldn't share openly things that might be a little bit controversial or taboo. Like even that, like this was the 90s, even someone having a child who married someone who wasn't Jewish at that point was a little bit like, oh, everyone would be talking about it. So when I was, when I came out, I think I first started realising I was gay when I was probably about 13, 14. I'd always had girlfriends. Most of them are now lesbians, so it kind of worked well for both of us, maybe at the time. But so I started realising at that age, and it was just, I remember asking a teacher, we had like a science lesson. They said we could ask any questions about relationships, and I asked about same-sex relationships, and they said, "Oh, why do you want to ask that? It's not for our community. It's like as if it's only like English families that would have a gay person, and not like not anyone from outside of that." So yeah, I think I knew of gay people through TV, but they were always like they're always like comedy people, like very extravagant, and there wasn't just like your everyday person. It was always just like, I remember at the time like Lily Savage, like a few people like that. But then when I got older, I started to realise I was gay, and I did struggle for a few years because I was really like proud of my identity and my background, and I'm not fully religious, but my religion is a big part of me. So I didn't think I could be gay and Jewish. I didn't think the two. For a lot of years, I felt like I had to choose, and that was really hard. Like mentally, that was really hard because I didn't want to choose, but I was kind of felt like I had to. But I came through the other end, realised there's lots of queer Jewish people, and just because they weren't on TV and there wasn't representation, these people are out there. You're not the only one. But in terms of my family, when I first came out, my mum found it hard at first just because of the whole what will people say. If I tell this person, then it's going to tell that person, and within a week, everyone in the area will know, and she'll go to Tesco's and someone will say something, and that was her worry. But I think she realised quite quickly that no one really cared. Like, it wasn't the big thing that she thought it was. And the more she spoke to people, they were like, oh, I've got this cousin who's gay or this nephew who's gay. And it was actually just because we didn't know about it. It wasn't out there. So yeah, she ended up dealing with it really well. And I was really lucky. I've got 4 sisters. So they were about 10 years older than me. So they had gay friends. They knew gay friends. They were really like, I guess, comforting my parents that it's fine. It's not a big deal. Like, and just hearing that helped them. So yeah, it ended up being a short period of where it was really tough for them, but they got through that quite quickly.
And if you are really enjoying this podcast, don't forget what you're supposed to do. Subscribe to our channel and follow us on social media. And also don't forget to follow our guests on their social media platform, and also follow Vengeance Production and 1701 Media on social media. Subscribe to this YouTube channel as well. And at this moment, I want to say a special thank you to our cosmetic partner or sponsor in person of Adoa Skincare that will be giving products to all our guests, and to our recording studio, Mic Check, for giving us the space to be able to do this. Once again, don't forget, follow us on social media, and follow me too. I beg, follow me on social media as well. Now, it wasn't just that you deal with that, my parent Muslim and all of that, and I'm gay, and my parent Jewish and I'm gay. And then we have to cross it. So you're bringing home a partner who is Muslim, who's not Jewish. You're bringing home a partner who is Jewish, who's not Muslim. And I even don't want to go into the tension of, what we're made to believe, because most of the time, what we're made to believe about the relationship between Arabs and Jews are not always that true, right? But we cannot also not forget the fact that there would be some level of, okay, one thing is for you to be gay, another thing is for you to want to think of bringing home a man. And what was it like for your family when you introduced him?
So there was a number of family members that welcomed Adam with open arms. When Adam first met my family, he thought that they were going to be like covered and really religious. And then when he met my auntie, my mum's sister first, and her husband went for dinner. And my auntie, again, she's very glamorous, and her husband is black. He's from St. Lucia. And Adam was like, oh, so who? I didn't. Oh. I was like, yeah, this is my auntie. It was like, okay. So I was very relaxed at that point, and they're very liberal. So and talking to my auntie as well. Obviously, back in the 70s when she married my uncle, she's Cypriot. He's black. That was very taboo back then. Just wasn't, So to have my auntie and uncle there to help and guide us, because they had all those kind of issues growing together. So that really helped, I think, Adam and I, when Adam was then coming into the family. But my family welcomed Adam with open arms. There was never an issue with Adam being Jewish. My mum struggled at first about me having a partner and a boyfriend and being open with him in public. And again, very much what Adam was just saying about what other people would say. It was never about, I don't think my mum, but it was about bringing shame to the family, about what other people would say, the community. Unfortunately, my dad passed away in 2011. 14 years ago. Adam, my dad never had the opportunity to meet Adam. I don't really know which way it would have gone if my dad was alive. But, my dad, had no issues with Jewish people. His best friend was Jewish. But I think he would have had an issue with me being out publicly gay. I think that would have been the issue.
And Adam, how was it? How was that for your family when you introduced Ali to them?
Yeah, so my mum met Ali very soon in, actually, probably about 3 or 4 weeks in, and like we're very, very close. So I can't, even if I try and keep something from my mum, I end up telling her, and I just couldn't. I almost needed her like sign of approval. They connected straight away. Like for my family, it was never an issue. I think if I was straight, it would have been. This has actually come to my benefit being gay.
Oh, really? Why so?
I think if I was straight, there would have been an expectation that I married someone Jewish, because there would have been and I'd probably had children, and in the Jewish faith, it comes from the mother, so it'd have been probably really important that I would have carried on the religion through that. But being gay, it wasn't something that mattered so much, and actually it worked better. I mean, being with Ali, because there were so many things that for my family were familiar that they maybe wouldn't have experienced if I wasn't with someone who was from some sort of culture or some religion. It was very similar. Like there was lots of I think Ali just got my family in the way we were and the chaos it is sometimes. Like
our families are like that. They're chaotic.
Yeah, it's chaotic.
Both families are chaotic. Like there's no filter. There's no privacy. Like everyone knows each other's business. It's arguments, loud arguments, and then they drag this person and that person. Everyone's like, what is
You don't go for dinner and everyone's just sitting there very like silently and polite. It's like chaos. There's always something happening, and someone's like lots going on.
On a Sunday night, for example, other people that you speak to go, how was your Sunday? Oh, I just chilled on the sofa. How was your Sunday? I said, well, my auntie and my mum and my sister and the kids popped round at 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock? What for? And just to have a cup of tea. It was chaos till 10 o'clock. And that would be our family, because that is just us. Like And
as the two families, have they ever been in the same, apart from your wedding day, have they ever been in the same space together? And
and it's just, I think it's so there's just so much similarities. I say there's way more that's similar than different. And I think it didn't surprise me, but in some ways, I think that's what helped the families when they realised that on paper it's different, but it's not. We're like things are a lot more similar to each other than
the food,
other cultures.
The music, like our religions are very, they say that it's they're brothers, Jewish and the Muslim, and the story, and they said they are connected, and our faiths are pretty much the same, and so the connection was very much there with the families, and it was nice to see that connection where we can just leave them to it and they can just get on with it.
So let's talk about the proposal. How romantic was it? Who popped the question?
I'll pass it to
So I did. It wasn't as romantic as it probably could have been. It was. I'm quite I'm not a massive planner. I am much better as I got older. I'm not huge on planning things. It was quite in the moment. I knew we went to New York. I knew I wanted to do it in New York, but I didn't have any sort of specific, right, this is what I want to do. This is how I'm going to do it. I just felt like when I'm in that moment and it feels right, I'll know that's the moment. And we went, I also wanted it to be towards the end of our holidays. I thought if it's at the start of being in New York, we're going to spend the whole time on the phone to our families, go for it. Let's enjoy New York. So it was our second from last day, and we were in Central Park, and I was like, this is the place, this is the moment, this is romantic. Yeah, it felt like the right place, and there was this lovely waterfall in Central Park, there's fountains, and I wasn't nervous at all because I knew Ali was going to say yes.
Were you sure he was going to say
yes? I knew he was going to say yes, but just before I went to it, I started just feeling really nervous. I was like, this is quite, it's intense, it's quite a lot to say, will you marry me? So I was just sitting there quietly thinking, right, I'm going to do it. And just as I was getting to the point, this guy who was sitting almost right next to us proposed to his girlfriend. And they had a violinist, they had
got down on one knee
photographer,
with a big ring.
there was so much going on.
Oh my God, you're doing it on the cheap.
I was like, but now this looks like, how's this going to look? Me now doing this.
I'll do it another day.
And I was thinking, is it going to look like I've just done it because he's just done it?
No ring, no violinist.
You could just beg them, please, can I borrow your violinist?
So, that had to that moment's kind of been killed a little bit. So let's go for a walk, and we did, and we found a really nice spot.
Oh, so you didn't do it at that moment?
No, because it just felt a bit like everyone's making a fuss about these people.
Everyone was clapping. And I got up taking pictures of them. And I said to the guy, what's your number? I'll WhatsApp you the pictures. And Adam's like, what are you doing? I was like, he's just proposed. I'm going to send him the picture. It's a lifetime memory, right? Like, you know.
We went for a walk. We found a quiet spot with no people, so no one else got up to like outshadow me and propose there. So it was like, it was a nice moment between the two of us, and no one to take a picture though. Nothing on camera.
I wouldn't say you were expecting it because you weren't expecting it, but how was that for you?
So I originally thought that he would have proposed maybe 3 or 4 days prior if he was going to do it, because on the 12th of May is when we first met and we were in New York.
Why didn't you propose?
Me? I was my friend to do it. You know. Then I know they say age before beauty, so I thought I would just give it to him. So... yeah, and we went to a really lovely restaurant, and it was a restaurant from Sex and the City. Is it called Budukhan?
Yeah.
And it was a lovely restaurant, lovely setting, and I thought, you know, this is the night, he's gonna do it. And he didn't, and I was really upset. So we went to a piano bar and I got really drunk instead, and I thought, right.
Did you know he was upset?
Yeah, I did. I was like, you should know I'm not going to do it. My worst nightmare would be in a restaurant with loads of people clapping. I'm like, no, it needs to be... Central Park felt like a safe space because it's out. Even though it's busy, it's outside. I can escape quickly. If the pressure of everyone looking got too much, I'm like in a restaurant.
But you were so sure. You were so sure in yourself that if you proposed to him, he would say yes.
Yeah, like there was.
We spoke about it before.
We spoke. Yeah,
I spoke about it before, and like, you know, I've always said, like, you know, I would like to get married, like, and because I never thought I would get married, like growing up. You know, back then, you know, gay marriage wasn't legalized, and people were doing the civil partnership, and I kind of didn't believe in that. I'll be honest with you, that the civil partnership, I just thought, you know, we need the same rights as everybody else. So if people are legally getting married, then we should legally be getting married. I'm not gonna just go and write on a piece of paper that I got from W.H. Smith's to say that we were married. Here's a civil partnership. I'm just like,
not even John Lewis.
Not even John Lewis, you know. No John Lewis paper, you know. No. It would be a scrap.
But how was that moment? Or how do you think your 5-year-old you, who discovering himself, you know, and going through navigating that?
Yeah.
How was that moment?
I cried. I was excited. Oh, about the proposal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I cried. I was excited inside. I just felt a sense of release that I've met my husband. I met my man, my prince. He got down on one knee. He proposed.
Dear, how beautiful.
And I was just like, and this is, you know, let's make this work. You know, this is another challenge we're going to come across, and let's now make this work. And yeah.
And then you hop on the plane and back to London. Now
And
you have to tell everybody.
He told me not to tell anyone, so I told the whole plane. He said to me, people go, congratulations. He was like, I thought I was going to tell him. I said, no, you said don't tell your friends and family. This is a strangers on the Virgin Atlantic plane. I told the air hostess. I told everybody on the plane, and everyone was like, "Oh God, I can't. What's it gonna be like?"
For that 7 hours flight.
Yeah.
Hey, we had premium economy. What do you want?
So, what was it like telling the family, and who did the telling?
Yeah, like so. I think the few days after we got back, we were like, right, let's do the rounds of seeing everyone, tell them in person, and yeah, it was exciting telling people, and everyone else wanted to know the story. After about the 20th time, you're like, okay, I've told this story before. It was like the family were really excited. I think at the start, we didn't really know what we were like. We didn't know if we were going to get married in Spain, in England, like what we were going to do. So it was lots of like unknown. And I think for most of my family as well, they'd never been to a same-sex marriage. So it was a wedding. So they were like, what's it going to be like? What's going to happen? I was like, I don't actually know. At that point, I'd never been to one. So I didn't even know myself. And so, yeah, it was lots of questions, I think, from family at the start. Yeah.
My mum found it very hard. So that was another explosion that came with it, you know. I mean, so, you know, first it was I'm gay. So we had to deal with that. Then it was I met Adam. Then we had to deal with me being with Adam, then we're moving in together, then we bought a house together, and each element of my step was a bit of an explosion with my mum, and it was always having to deal with that, and then going back to having conversations, more tears, more tantrums. There was moments in our life that me and my mum didn't speak because, you know, and that was hurtful because it's my mum and I love my mum, and out of everyone, I just wanted my mum to accept me and to be there for me. Like each hurdle was an explosion, and then we got to the wedding, you know, that we're getting married, and she didn't congratulate us for 3 months. She still saw us, and we still saw it. And I said to Adam, we just have to give her that time. So we have to just act as normal as possible. And we did. And it was hard, you know, but we did. And we didn't want to poke the bear as such. We thought, let's you know. And then we got a call in the Sunday. And she's, you know, we would speak, you know, and she said, oh, what are you and Adam doing today? And I said, oh, we're actually coming near you. We've got an engagement to go to in the afternoon. She said, oh, okay, can you come by after to me? I want to talk to you both. Well, that was it. We started trembling at this point. What is going, you know? And yeah, we went there, and look, all hats off to my mum. You know, she sat us down, and it was more aimed at Adam. And she said, you know, I want to talk to you both. Then she said to Adam, you know, I want to apologise in advance because I want to say what I want to say, but I may not get the words out correctly. I don't want to upset you or offend anyone. And we said, no, that's fine. And I think she poured her heart out in a really lovely speech, didn't she, Ads? And one of the questions was, are you sure you want to get married? And we're like, yeah, Mum, I'm sure. We're sure we love each other. And that was it. And then she then gave us her blessing and offered to pay money towards the wedding, which was lovely. All the parents paid towards the wedding. But she was like, what do
Mine
you...
didn't.
No. Oh. Bisi.
No, it's fine.
I'm going to send them a strongly worded email.
And you had a fabulous wedding. You know, the coming together of the two culture, of the two religion and all of that. What was that day like for you?
I left a lot of the wedding planning to Adam, I'll be honest with you. I was involved and I said, look, this is what I want. This is what I envisage. Adam's a very good planner. He plans everything. And I know it was very important to Adam to have his rabbi conduct the ceremony. So I let him track his rabbi down. He was a female rabbi, Rabbi Rebecca, and she was lovely, fabulous person. So I let a lot of, and Adam do a lot of the planning, and I was there behind him, and they eventually put our heads together, didn't we?
Yeah, definitely. It was just a really special day. Like it's just something so special about having everyone you really care about in one place. It's very rare you get everyone in one place at the same time in one room, and that just felt it just felt so special. And it wasn't a day that I necessarily thought would ever happen. I think, just going back a bit, I think the reason Ali kind of led me to propose, I think early in a relationship, I wasn't 100% sure if I wanted, not about Ali, but if I wanted to get married in general, because I always thought marriage was a religious thing, and I didn't always know if it was an option to have a religious element to our wedding. And I was really lucky that we could bring that into our wedding as well, because that was really important to me.
He had the ceremony part, and I had the walking in the hall part. So I bought my Turkish drummers, as you do. And I said to Adam, we're going to walk in with the big drummers, and we're going to get everybody up on the dance floor, and we're going to have like 20 minutes or 25 minutes of like Turkish, Arabic music with the big drummers. And that's exactly what we did. And that really just brought the whole vibe up. And it was that was just fun. That was just the best bit. I loved it.
It's really, it's really lovely to hear this. And I want to pick up on what you said. Because as queer people, we might have to think about how much of tradition do we want to bring in, because that tradition has kicked us out in one way or another. But we want to own it. We want to bring it in. And I remember during my wedding, I was very clear to my husband, I want to get dressed in my traditional attire. because it's my own way of reclaiming my sexuality within my culture, right? Because what I'm about to do is not allowed. But who decides what is allowed or not? And I wanted to claim that. And it's very interesting that you brought that up about how much that I shouldn't lose touch with my culture because I'm queer.
Yeah.
That shouldn't happen. Before we come to the awards, what led you to winning that award? There's something else I want to talk about. And that was I'm very conscious to not call it crisis or whatever, but what the relationship between Israel and Palestinian. And I know that for you, that could be a topic at the dinner table. And in your relationship, have you been able to navigate that? Because I think that for many people, that could be a deal breaker. In learning how you were able to have a conversation in love and navigate that might be a learning curve for someone else.
I think it's just so important just to listen to, like, just to listen, be open, have conversations, listen to each other and get passionate about different things and different aspects. But remember, at the end of the day, we're just two people living in the UK. There's nothing we can literally, like, unfortunately, like, what we can do is we're just dots on this planet in some ways, and so many things in the world we're quite powerless, aren't we, at the end of the day to change things. So it's just being able to have empathy with each other on different aspects. Hopefully just agree about most things, which is that everyone, no matter who they are, where they are in the world, should wake up safe and fed, and like that's the most important thing for anybody. But aspects you may necessarily have different viewpoints on, is to listen to someone, understand where their viewpoint is. That's the most important thing. And just like always have empathy for people and try and listen to people and try and understand them, and not ever bring in, like, not ever be shut out from other people's opinions. That's so important.
Because I mean, for you, the noise was so many. The pictures were gory.
Yeah.
The feedback was how were you able to deal with it emotionally within yourself and emotionally in the relationship?
With
the situation from October 7th till,
So, I mean, look, as we know, this has been spanning back for the last 70 odd years. So,
yes, since 1948.
Yeah, 1948, the birth of Israel didn't start on the 7th of October 2023. So I think people firstly need to go and know their history and learn and look what's happened and what started October the 7th. I don't agree with what happened on October the 7th. I don't agree with, what Hamas did, go in, take people hostages. That was just like, that could happen to any one of us.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you do that? Like, we know what's been happening. But things got out of hand completely, and the word genocide started being brought up. You've got all the protests, you've got the marches. Adam and I even went to the marches, and we didn't go to the marches because, we're against Israel or we're against Hamas. We were going for the innocent people that are caught up in this conflict.
Yeah, exactly.
The people, innocent people, women, children, both sides are dying. Doesn't matter. Let's take race and religion out of it. Let's, all of us in this room, let's take the race and religion out of it. And let's just say that we're watching that on telly and say it was a movie. We would know that is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So we would go because we are, for humanity. And this isn't even anymore about land anymore. This is innocent people that are dying and getting killed and getting caught up in it, while all these bigwigs at the top, the Trumps,
they're making a lot of money
the
out of it.
Netanyahu's, Qatar, the UAE, you've got everyone at the top table having, tea and biscuits, discussing what to do while people on the ground are actually dying. And that's actually happening all around. You've got Trump at the moment who's come out talking about Christianity and
Don't even get me started on that one. Don't get me started on that one, because there are fundamental questions we need to ask about how someone like him becomes a spokesperson for a religion that he doesn't even believe in a way. But I want to talk about, because we met for the first time at the Attitude Awards, where you guys won an award. Do you want to talk about the work that you're doing around that together to win the awards?
So it came. So we got married, as you know. The wedding venue wanted to write an article up on us, so we said, yeah, that's fine. Did the article. We said only send it out to the LGBTQ community. We thought we don't need to go outside of that. Let's just keep it within. We then got asked by Attitude if they could publish the story in the March or April, I think, of 23, and that was to celebrate 10 years of marriage equality.
Yeah.
And we said, yeah, absolutely, that's fine. Let's represent, because that's actually something that was quite close to my heart, because I actually didn't believe prior to that I got married, as I said, in a civil partnership. So I said, yeah, I'm happy to do that. Let's do it. And that story went out. We then got an email from Attitude saying that you've been nominated for an Attitude Pride Award. We said, great. And it just went from there, really. We went, we won the awards. We met you.
Exactly.
We had a fabulous evening. And then since that award, we have done several interviews. We've done, podcasts. We've appeared. We've gone to more award shows. We've done radio shows, and we are really concentrating on the whole interfaith. Okay, about the religion, and I'm glad. Obviously, we touched on the religion because a lot of people we are having backlash because obviously I think more the Muslim community are not happy. The real in-depth Muslim, how can you be gay? How can you be Muslim? How can you call yourself a Muslim? How can you marry a Jew? You're going to go to hell. You're going to... I mean, I've heard it all. I mean, I look at it, I just block and delete now because I can't be dealing with it. But our latest interview with Pink News, and that went out maybe 6 weeks ago, I think. And that's been the biggest. That's hitting the millions at the moment across all platforms. And it's still going every day. The messages, the love, the hate, the death threats that we're getting at the moment. And it's quite tiring.
I mean, how does it feel putting your body in line? Because that's literally what you're doing. And just to demystify, this kind of relationship, this kind of union, this kind of reality, you have to say, this is us, for us to make it okay for there to be next people like you. Yeah. How does it feel for you?
I find it feels overwhelming because I'm like, this is just, we're just a couple who met and in love. Like, it's we're just normal people who've got normal jobs and live normal life. Like, people have such strong opinions and such strong reactions to it. I find that just crazy. Like, we're just getting on with our life like everyone and doing a food shop, like really just normal things. And it's just become such a strong reaction from some people, and that I find really crazy.
I just find it, like you said, I am a Muslim. I go to bed and I pray to God at night. I wake up in the morning and I pray to God and thank God that I woke up that night. I wish and pray for all my friends and family to have a good day, a good life, health and happiness. I don't pray 5 times a day. I don't follow the full Muslim culture that you're meant to. But how can you tell me that I'm not a Muslim and my God isn't listening to me? You can't tell me that.
Exactly.
And I'm not trying to be an advocate in such of to go and rewrite the Quran or to change people's minds. Everyone's got their own opinions. You've got that opinion. I'll tell you what, keep it to yourself. Because we don't need any...
No, what do we do now? We clock.
We don't need it. Keep your hate to yourself, because we have heard it all before. I have dealt with it from the youngest age possible. And I'm going to carry on living my life. And the reason I will keep sharing and doing all of this podcast interviews is because there is another queer Muslim out there
that needs to hear.
That needs and to see this and to think, I can do this as well.
And who is about to fall in love with another Jewish gay person and needs to know if I've got role models out there. Yeah. And if they can weather the storm, I can weather the storm as well. I guess before we go to another exciting part of this podcast, what's next? Because people always ask, and I know you're very traditional. So
children.
Kids. I was coming there. I was coming there. So, children.
Oh, do you know what? Like right now in our lives, we're definitely not ready to take on the role of parenting and having our own kids. We have 10 nieces and nephews, you know, and they range from 17 down to 5. And, you know, we see them all the time. We're very close with them. They run away to us when they've fallen out with their parents. I then have to drive them back home. And like, you know, that's enough for us. Like, you know, we've got the love from our nieces and nephews. They're like our kids, you know, they come to us with all of any issues. Like, you know, right now, I think we're in a really comfortable place in our lives without kids. But who knows? Maybe one day.
Maybe a dog fair.
Need to get those. You know, we've got to. So you need to. And then this is what people don't understand when it's come to we queer people. We just don't make babies. We do really think and really, really think about it mentally, emotionally, financially. And when that kid, when they come in or when that child comes into our space, it is so much love and so much plan that has gone into it. And that's why I find it very funny when they say, oh, like in Italy now where queer people can adopt. And it's like, who are you harming? You're not harming us. You are harming those kids that needs a loving home. Yes. And you are denying them the opportunity.
Can provide.
Exactly. Okay, so I love to do this game. It's very fun. You're going to pick a card and you're going to ask questions and you're going to answer. Both of you are going to answer that. So I'm going to start with you, Adam. So which card are you going to pick? Pick one.
This one here.
Okay, so read the question to Ali for Ali to answer.
So if you had to sum up our relationship in one moment, what would it be?
If I had to sum up the relationship in one moment, the day we said I do. Because there's 2 words, I do, and I don't want anyone else.
Nice.
But what's it for you though?
So mine's really different. Mine is like just the silly Saturday morning. Like I like to sleep in on Saturday. Ali's up really early. I come downstairs and it's the weekend, just silly moments like just like fun things, like just silly things you do. Like I'll creep around the door and jump out. It's the fun that I think defines us, and like just being yourself 150%. You don't have to put on any other.
You need a dog in that picture.
You need
a dog in that picture.
Listen, we're gonna leave and go to the dog shop now.
Really do. You need a chihuahua.
I will go for this one. There we go. Oh, Adam.
Okay.
What animal gives the same vibe as me?
So many. I think like a pug specifically, because we've first of all got a pug Teddy who I love very much. You're very loyal, you're very loving, but if someone upsets you, you will bark and tell them about it. Yeah.
Okay, so which animal gives the same vibe as?
Oh, what animal gives the same vibe as me?
As
yeah, it was you. Yeah. I think I am gonna go with a monkey.
My favourite animal.
Monkey, because it is his favourite animal, and I bought Adam a monkey teddy bear with hearts on it. It was Valentine's Day, and I went into Asda's because we lived above Asda when we moved in together, and it was the last monkey on the shelf, and I thought, you're just too cute, so you're coming home with me. So I bought it and gave it to Adam. He was like, oh, I just saw this monkey in Asda downstairs, but it was the last one on the shelf, and I got a bad vibe from it, so I didn't get it. I was like, what? He goes, yeah, no, it's nothing. So, like, and he goes, I was like, sorry, so you left the monkey for me to get it for you, and now that is our monkey. And it looks like, you know.
It does look a bit like it.
Yeah.
He's got the hair, he flicks up in the morning.
Okay, then let's pick one more.
This one.
Okay.
Oh. What is one emoji that perfectly represents me?
Oh, there's so many. The little emoji that represents you, that laughing, the laugh emoji, because everything he writes back is just always hilarious. I ask him something, I'm just like, The little laughing emoji. Always smiling, always laughing. Like, you're such a happy person. It really is Adam. He's always happy. Like, even the saddest days, he always pulls it out of him to be happy again. The laughing one. Makes everyone laugh.
So which emoji
Which emoji? I think the love heart emoji, because I've also got Ali a love heart emoji for his birthday, one of the first years we met. And it was so funny. I ordered it online thinking it was like his big emoji. It was like this small. It's like a tiny little love heart emoji. But it does remind me of you, the love heart, the love eyes, the heart eyes emoji. Yeah.
He takes it away with him. So when he travels to work for Edinburgh, he always takes a little love heart emoji. That's me.
Oh, that's so cute. That's so cute. One last one.
Okay.
All right. I'll take the middle. I'll go bang smack in the middle. Okay. If I randomly got arrested, what would you guess the reason would be?
Oh, okay. Road rage. Yeah, definitely. Actually, someone cutting you up in a road and you deciding to follow them and chase them. I don't know what you would do when they stop or you stop, but just generally road rage.
I wouldn't get out of the car, not that much. I would be like verbally abusing them, probably. Adam, I would probably think, I don't know. Again, probably carrying someone's bag through the airport, thinking, I don't know if someone asked to bring it through. I don't know.
Naivety. Yeah.
Oh, so thank you so very much for joining my podcast. But before I let you go, what's the one message you have for someone who is navigating what you've been through? And yeah.
Okay. I would say to someone, always be yourself. Never forget where you've come from. Always allow the most important people in your life to process any change. Navigate with them and don't fight against them, because you'll always need that person in your life. And when you are coming out, because we all have that story of coming out, look at it. Don't look at it as a crime. Look at it as a celebration of you and who you are and how you want the world to see you.
Definitely. I think I would reflect what you said, Bisi, around tradition and culture. I think there's definitely a place for traditions in religion and culture, and there's some great things about traditions that could be hundreds of years old. But there's also a room to find your own place that mixes tradition with how you live your life and make your own way as well. Like, there's things from the past and from your history that you can absolutely hold on to, but there's aspects you can make your own that's relevant to you as an individual, you as a couple, whatever that may be. And I think that's really important. You don't feel like you have to fit a mold because you're from this background or that background. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Ali.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you, Adam.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for spending the time with us, for listening and for learning. If you have really enjoyed this podcast, don't forget to follow Ali and Adam on their social media handle, as you can see on the screen. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and don't forget to follow us on all social media platforms. And if you also want to sponsor or support our sponsor, don't forget to buy your goods from Adwa Skincare. My name is Bisi Alimi, and this is how I met my. I look forward to seeing you same time next week. So much love. Bye.